How's it going, Vault Hunters, and welcome back to another Borderlands 2 Legendary Weapons Guide. Today, we're going to be going after the legendary Molly 1 shield known as Flame of the Firehawk. Now, the Flame of the Firehawk shield can only come in Fire Element and is a base game item, which means no DLCs are required to get this item. And the red text of this weapon reads, "From the ashes, she will rise." And please note that the prefix of your Firehawk may be different to mine, but it'll always be some variation of Flame of the Firehawk. But before we get access to this item, we first need to complete a side quest known as Cult Following. This is a 4-step side quest that you can unlock as soon as you get Lilith back to Sanctuary. Once you've completed that quest, head to your nearest fast travel station and go to the location known as Sanctuary. Once you load it into Sanctuary, head over to where Tannis and all the other Vault Hunters hang out, where upstairs you will find Lilith waiting for you to turn in your quest. Now, due to this item being a quest reward, in order to farm it, if you are on PC, you're going to have to do the read-only method, and unfortunately for Xbox players, it's not as simple or fast, but you're going to have to quit through your dashboard and not the game itself. Doing that will make it so that it doesn't save the fact that you turn in a quest, and you can keep turning it in until you get your desired parts. The closest non-unique item in the game to the Flame of the Firehawk would be a purple Molly 1 shield with matching element, parts, and prefix. And as you can see, both shields have identical stats. So what makes the Flame of the Firehawk shield so special compared to its purple counterpart? Funny enough, we can actually read what the difference is in the item's description. Its purple counterpart only releases one singular nova when the shield is depleted, versus the Flame of the Firehawk consistently releasing fire novas as long as your shield is depleted. And when it comes down to the shield of the Firehawk, where it has consistently detonates novas in its description, they should just get rid of the constantly part and just put indefinitely, because as long as your shield is down and you're taking damage to your health, it will just spam novas forever, as you can see in the footage. I stood in this puddle of acid for like 5 minutes, and I have to increase the speed on the video so you can see, and it just doesn't stop. And you can see how the more tankier Vault Hunters, or any of the Vault Hunters that have skills that increase their health regen massively, can benefit a lot from this shield. Before we get into the god roll of this item, I just want to quickly say that shield parts work differently than weapon parts, and I'll be making a more in-depth guide than what I'm going to say here on how that stuff works. But essentially, each shield part has the exact same value as others. So like, if you have 3 Molly 1 parts, all 3 Molly 1 parts do exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter where it's located, it's all the same value. And that the manufacturer depends on what stat is boosted. For example, Molly 1 prioritizes Nova damage, absorption chance, the Roid damage, boosted damage, versus, say, Bandit, which focuses more on recharge rate. So now that we know everything that we need to know about how this shield functions and how it works, we can now break down the god roll. So the first part we're going to be looking for is a Molly 1 body, which you can visually see on the left of the shield. This is going to give us a bonus to any special effects your shield may give, a +2 recharge rate, but a little bit of a hit to our capacity. The next part we're going to be looking at is the battery of the shield. This is going to be a Molly 1 battery, which you can visually see at the bottom of the shield. This part's going to give us the exact same bonuses as the prior part that we covered, that being an increase to our special effect, recharge rate with a hit to capacity. Our next and final part we're going to be going over is the capacitor, which for some reason you can't visually see because all Molly 1 capacitors do not show up on top. And like all the other Molly 1 parts, we are going to have the exact same stats as the previous ones that I just covered, plus the additional bonus of granting immunity to burn damage. So that about just does it for me. As always, I always try and show these items off in their most bare-bones state so you as a player can determine whether or not it's worth putting your hard time and effort into going after this item. If I had to make any recommendations for this item, it would be Krieg for one, which is a no-brainer. He has several skills that will prevent the shield from regenerating, which allows the novas to go off more consistently, and you don't have to worry about the shield accidentally recharging on you, and then you have to wait for the whole thing to fill up. So it's just a no-brainer on Krieg. I think a second one, which would be pretty decent, I think Maya just because of all the elemental effects, but mainly for the skill that allows her to pull people together with her phase lock. So then you're just maximizing how many people get hit per explosion. And then if you have a Moxie weapon on top of that, that's just tons of healing. It's just not gonna die. And then lastly, this is gonna be a surprise third. I think this could be a really fun one, is if you go on Salvador and you max out all his like movement speed skills and all his health regen, and you can just fly around the map, just grog heralding everything with just like novas that are constantly healing you. I feel like that could just be a really dumb fun thing to do. But yeah, that's basically all I got for you. I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you next time, Vault Hunters.